Hello, my friends and everybody around this big world. We have managed to map everything around the world. Map. There is a map of every part of the world. So if you go on Google Maps, you will see most of the countries clearly. And you can also go by Google Car in order to see many of the roads that Google Car have been running. You can even go on my address and look how it's here. If you are in Botswana, you can you can Google if you have access to Google. That is criteria. So if you go into space, you can even see most of the stars that are known, that is mapped around. And I think also it's mapped according to the position where you are from. Maybe not. I don't know. So when you go into Google Sea, I don't know. I think we only have private photographs of Google Sea. We can't see the fish swimming. We can't see the corals and so on. But we are here and we are now. And what to say, we don't know. But in which, how, or way, we can do it. We can do it. What is the topic today? Is it about mapping? Map. We are mapping. Where we go, it's kind of a mapping. Mapping habit. We orientate ourselves around the perspective of our eyes, what we see, what we hear, what we know, what we want to know, what we are interested in. So all this is according to what I was talking about yesterday, to have a peace of mind, to seek tranquility and seek balance in life. We orientate us according to our instruments. If you have GPS, mobile GPS nowadays, but before they had this simple singular GPS that was mapping according to your position of this GPS. So you could hold it in your hand and navigate to wherever you really wanted to go. And some roads after some years were changed. So I once used this GPS from Sweden to Norway, or vice versa. I tried to find my way back to home, and I strictly followed the GPS, and it led me so far away. So that was that. I remember it. We had been to a very long distance road in Sweden. I'm living in East Coast to Sweden. And when we drove eastwards. We wanted to go to what do you call selling these sweets in that town, which the sweet was invented. It's called polka gris. Polka gris is this twisted, or it's red and white, or it's a minty taste. But we wanted this Texas with some anise taste. This licorice. I love licorice, so I wanted to map by this GPS to Norway, and we ended in some off-road track, not far away, of course, but we had to try it, and my children, which I was alone with 3 of my children, they I don't think they found it very funny, but I did. I went all the way by this GPS, and we went outside the road because the GPS signal was on the track, and the track was diverted from the main road. So they said, "Papa, why are you going off like that? You don't know even how to drive." So that was my children happily ever after, and even today they or some of them want to take that journey, but if you take this journey, it will cost you a lot of money. Because we love this polka gris, and it's invented in this town. I don't remember the town's name. Taverna or something like that. So we use our ability to localize or orientate us to come to where we want, and in different skills. You want to be like a professional, you need to have this kind of education, and that is kind of a navigational instrument. All this theory and books you have to read and maybe write too, and it takes a long way, and people that go to school for specific education, like doctors or professors, they they know that the track is long, but if they are very determined to do this, they will do it to the end, and they are very determined on their destiny. I'm not like that. I'm impulsive guy. I learn by doing. I'm not that skilled, schooled, or all these factors that you need in order to get to one point to another if you have some aim in life. But some I see, they don't have so much education, yet they are improving. They are elected or chosen for different purposes, and they can have some degree in in the secular work, and they get some high degree in some very different work or service altogether. But this Epstein, this guy, he was fortune. He mingled with so-called right people. And when you are rude enough or brave enough or skilled enough in different human qualities or abilities, in order to manipulate your way around and use your power, use your friend, relatives, or use whatever means you have in order to get as far as you want. And this Epstein that was put in jail because he was toying with girls, prostituting them. It was claimed, and it was a very tragic history, both for obviously him. I don't pity him like that. It's no excuse to expose or take advantage of girls. But also for the girls that was involved with their family. And many were used in order to get... So that is a rude kind of mapping. When people are taken advantage of, and you see the possibilities of taking advantage of some people, because you have this instrument of ability. So you don't restrain yourself, you don't contain those qualities, you use them for your own benefit. And we can talk a lot about mapping, but it comes to the core of that. Is mapping is centralized in a chip, in some entity. It's you have this personality. You have a will, you have a drive, you have some urges, and you have this kind of entity that knows what he or she wants. But they don't limit themselves from getting it, because they are moral, out of moral codex. They know what to do with people, and they have no regard whatsoever for them. What a rude way to live. How pity, how poor. I mean, we are born empty-handed. We are born empty, like a vessel which is drained out of everything. Even if we drink, eat, we get empty. We have always this empty feeling. And this empty feeling is the Hunger Games. It's kind of a drive that you will never stop until it all is finished. You will never stop eating, my friend. You will never stop drinking, my friend. You will never stop having the need of having something, my friend. That's it. You kind of want something all the way. You map in order to get. We mapped our way to Sweden in order to get these polka sweets. And all the life, can you ever forget that you have been hungry and have the need of a tasty meal? It's just like that. It's very simple, and every animal on this earth, every plant on this earth can't live, can't survive without any nourishment. Even the crocodile that is that big of a mouth, it shows that this guy is so hungry that to eat a zebra is no big deal for this crocodile. But they say that it can be in a state of non-activity in order to postpone, and they don't hunt all the time. They have some relaxing time, some different cycluses in their life, where the hunger is not so urgent. And I believe that people should be more aware of their own hunger. Now you know when not to eat so much. Now you know when you don't need to go shopping in town every freaking day. You don't need to. You see, we get income. We get income every hour of the day. So the income promotes this urge of buying something of that income. And people that can't contain their use of money, because they have the ego. The ego is greater than than what you are able to spend, what you are able to get in. So if your ego is that high, you have to live according to your income. It's a saying here in Norway that you can eat so much, you can contain or consume so much as you get. If you overdo it, you will understand that your ego is a little bit too much. You are minding yourself a little bit too much if you can't contain the need of having so much. So when you are at this drive of I want this, I want that, I have to eat, I have to smoke, I have to drink, I have to... all these kind of needs is a very intoxicating, it's kind of even the smallest thing. It can be just a chewing gum. You need to have chewing gum in order to fulfill your need. So you need to map yourself in order to understand your ability to contain yourself. If you don't understand yourself, you have no understanding of what to do, not when to do not. That was funny. So when you understand yourself, you can direct your habits or your intake. You can restrain it, you can measure it, and you can even keep away. But that is as far as you know yourself. You can do that. Because people that are eating, don't forget that they ate this and that time. Now I remember myself eating around 10:30. So why the need of eating again and again? I'm not that sick in my memory, Alzheimer, major or light, or I remember when I ate. So maybe if you map that kind of activity, you will be more able, or promoted even at at this level, you can be promoted not to overdo it every time. Because if you eat until you can't sit anymore, you have to stand. you kind of did it. If you ate so much that you just laying on the sofa and can't stand up, that is that is a little bit too much, my friend. So when you know certain things in your life that you have mapped inside and see your own patterns, you can restrain yourself, because you know that I'm not going to die because it's just some hours since I last had some intake. So you will feel satisfied for a longer time, maybe even next day. So if you map yourself correctly, you can have maybe some water or some soda, and if you map something externally, like what kind of food is good for me, what kind of toys or what kind of goods is good for me. Not everything is good, and you see, it's like something that you get because you want, but you don't take care of it, you don't use it, you don't in fact need it. But the need of having something is over-toxicating you. So when you map yourself like, do I really need this? Can I wait? Can this be, or what I have, can this be given or sold by me? So that can be a very good kind of mapping, because people that are treating animals or having to take care of animals, like my daughter yesterday, she was taking care of her dog. It was very expensive, but she wanted to do it because the dog is important to her. So I don't criticize her, but after this operation, which they removed some crystals, she was given a task to give the dog medicine, and it should be given every 6 hours or something like that, because the pain for this dog after the operation was intolerable. So you don't give the whole dose of the whole package of medicine, but you give it by certain intervals, and that is good for the dog, and it's also good for you if you can do some intervals in your activity. It will help in order to map yourself, your own reaction. And since she was put to this task, I think the dog seemed to be relaxed. I went and visited my daughter yesterday, and the dog seemed to be up and running already. The first day it was wasted, it was down by the drain. It was really, didn't even recognize me. I showed my hand, and it normally it jumps and are so very happy when I come, but this dog didn't even recognize me. So, but you see, all these kind of educated skills, like mapping. Mapping is a kind of education natural order. It's a kind of a natural order of education. If you map and recognize and write down or be observant to different patterns, you will see very much clearer after that. As I was talking yesterday about language, how to clear your mind. Language is that kind of map that can clear your mind. If you want to know how to do certain things like restrain yourself from alcohol or restrain yourself from buying all the stuff, restrain yourself for reacting bad, have a bad reaction, you can map your own activity, your own maybe you need help, of course. Many use help in order to map themselves and ask the critical questions. And my daughter said yesterday, when I brought her back, that to ask, in order to know, in order to design something for customers or whatever that is, you need to have some very precise questions. And that is the mapping they do. They do that mapping not in order to get to Sweden to get these sweets, but in order to know what the customer needs. So everything we do as something we do because we are mapping that kind of behavior, that kind of activity, that kind of so language is very interesting. So in order to know what specifically, then you need to know what you want, and to ask the question according to that want is very important. So that is the language skill you can exercise yourself, because you will be more peace with yourself. You will be more happy or more leveled, harmonized. So my friends, today was not a moral lecture. It was about mapping. Mapping simple things, mapping everything or nothing, but the judgment will be will be about the result. Can I do a better mapping? Yeah, I can. I will. And mapping is good for something, because if you learn to say something, you want to learn more. Like in different languages, if I come to a foreign country, they have some different languages. As I came to Thailand, I I learned how to say thank you. And it was different between if you said thank you to a male or a female. So you learn by walking, and by walking you are mapping. So my friends, keep on walking, because that is the kind of mapping that is natural, the natural order of education. People that doesn't like schools can do their own mapping, and they get very skilled. After a while you maybe map yourself to some school that you need, but that is okay. That's your confirmation about yourself. I need this school. It's very important to be honest with yourself, at least. No one else can tell you that honest truth. And just lend ear to your friends. They will say something, and you know what is truth. Be respectful for honest people. I thank you.